Jose, can you see it?
Well, I haven't got it yet.
This was better. Oh my goodness, so cute.
Stream.
Oh my goodness, look how cute.
What the heck?
Wow.
So
Wait, why does it say I have 0 viewers? Wait, are you like a? Oh, I get it. How do I invite you to the like to the actual thing though? Because it has you like you're about to go live too. If I press add to stage, let me see what it looks like on your end.
It still sees me. Yeah. So, so the pandas are gonna be the whole thing.
Well, it's like once someone like submits a thing, then I'll switch up because I made like insurance comparison sheets, so they could send me their thing to like my Cognito form or whatever, and then they can send me their thing to a Cognito form or whatever, and then I can just quote it live. But up until then, I need people to actually show up. So, oh, look at her pandas. Wait,
You're backstage. Only the host can see you. The host may add you to the stage.
I want to see if I can. I want to try to invite you to like the actual live. I don't know how to do that. They really just up here playing and stuff. Okay, I think I got it. All right, check this out. Wait, I have one viewer. Is that you or is that somebody else? Oh no, it's me. I think it's me watching me. Let me see. Oh, it went away again. Yeah, I think it was me watching me. Okay, I'm gonna take you off of here. Kick from studio.
Oh yeah, now on YouTube. I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, so it's not showing you as a viewer yet. So okay, let me see. It's so stupid, man. This is so stupid. Okay, like the right link. There you go. What is some insurance information? Madness. Madness. But you know how like the algorithm works, like the more people comment and like and get on there.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll bring somebody else. Like, oh, This live is getting some traction. Let's show a bunch of other people this live now.
Just become the next hub to Agro.
That's what I'm trying to be, man. I mean, I'm gonna send this to my daughter. You filled it out.
Yeah. I just put my name in.
Did you get anything in on that one?
Yeah, we're waiting on you to respond.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look.
Why would you put that? I'm gonna send this to a couple friends, see if they'll get on. Oh, nice.
We're good?
Jose,
Yeah.
Aaron's Helping Hand, their policy didn't get renewed. John wants you to requote their auto because it's your account. We can't get it reinstated because it's over 30 days. It's
All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Aquarium of the Pacific. In just a few minutes, we're going to be starting our diver feeding and training presentation here at the Tropical Pacific Gallery. Now, everybody is more than welcome to join. We just want to make sure we keep the viewing glass nice and clear so we can all observe all of the different animals in this habitat. Now, again, we're going to be joined by Jeff along with a team of volunteer divers inside of the exhibit where they will be feeding all of the different animals so we can observe all the different ways that they eat. Some animals are target fed, so they offer food directly. Others will go to targets in order to get their food, and others are scatter fed. I'm sure our volunteer diver will be excited to talk about that. Now, this is an excellent time to make some observations on the different adaptations and behaviors of all of the animals we see here. The fish, the sharks, there's a sea turtle who will hopefully make a little cameo. Now, this is our largest exhibit we have here at the aquarium, over 350,000 gallons. This is the same exhibit that you see at the opposite end of the gallery, the tunnel at the very end. It's all one big interconnected ecosystem. Now, the reason there's so much going on here is this actually represents the busiest, most biodiverse ecosystems in the oceans. That means they have the most different species of plants, animals, and those are the coral reefs. Now, this exhibit in particular is based off a real diving site off of Palau, and it's called the Blue Corner. Now, everybody do me a favor and look to the left-hand side of the exhibit. Does everybody see that plain blue wall over there? So that is to pay homage to that blue corner, because that is a blue corner. It also represents the open oceans that are found just past coral reefs, because coral reefs contain, believe it or not, 25% of all marine species, but only cover 0.2% of the ocean floor. So again, over a quarter of all marine animals living in less than 1%, in less than half of a percent of the seafloor. Reason being is coral reefs need very specific conditions in order to grow. The water has to be warm, it has to be clear, and it has to be shallow. That's why here this is one of the exhibits that the divers prefer to dive in, because the water is nice and warm, unlike our local waters. So we see here Jeff descending slowly into the exhibit, along with this really long yellow cord here. That yellow cord is a specialized mechanism that allows us to communicate inside of the exhibit. Everybody wave hi to Jeff. Wait for, there's that okay sign. We'll go ahead and turn on his mic and we can start talking about the coral reefs. Can you hear us in there, Jeff?
I can hear you just fine. Welcome to the Blue Corner in Palau. That is a dive site I've actually had the opportunity to visit, and it is one of the most amazing dive sites I've ever been to. That blue wall, as Gil indicated, is the open ocean, and this particular coral reef in Palau drops off the ocean. It drops off to the deep ocean, and this allows a lot of larger pelagic fish to come in and feed and live within the coral reef. It's a very cool place to go.
Yes. Now we keep saying coral reef. We keep saying coral. Now the foundation of the coral reefs is the coral, but we haven't talked about what a coral is. Do you want to explain, Jeff, what a coral actually is?
Sure. A coral is a small animal that lives within the structure that it builds. It has a small animal that lives with it, or a plant that lives with it, called a zooxanthellae, helps to feed that coral. So thousands of coral polyps make up the structure. It takes thousands of years to build something that looks like what we have here.
Exactly. And that's why all the corals we see here are actually artificial, because real corals will take hundreds or thousands of years to grow to this size. So it'd be a little unethical to harvest that coral, but the coral in the rest of the gallery is real.
So let's talk a little bit about the feeding. I think it's starting here. So as Gil indicated, there are a number of feeding stations that we're doing here. Some people are on the surface feeding, target feeding, and then, for instance, this fish tornado, as we call it, to my left here. Mark is in there feeding some of the more aggressive fish, some of the large fish that might take away food from the fish that we're trying to target feed elsewhere in the exhibit. So we're target feeding down below. To my right, your left, is the grouper. And the lady down there is trying to feed that fish. Again, that's a target feed, using this scatter feed here to pull those fish away. We're also feeding There are some sharks being fed at the surface. So there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, so it's a great opportunity to observe all the different methods that the animals feed in. Now, again, all these animals depend on the coral reefs, and we talked about what corals are now, about the specific conditions they need in order to grow, but that also makes them very susceptible to changes in their environment. We've all heard about climate change, where we burn fossil fuels, things like coal, oil, natural gas. It releases greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, as a byproduct, which rises up into the atmosphere, warms up the atmosphere, and warms up the waters, which is something we've been seeing a lot of this year. Now, why are warmer waters a problem for corals?
So even though the water in here at about 78 degrees is appropriate for coral, it actually lives in a very narrow range of temperature. If that temperature rises several degrees, 2, 3, 4 degrees over the limit that they can live in, the zooanthellae, the little algae that I talked about that grows within the coral, gets expelled out into the ocean, and the coral, if left that way, will die. If the temperature does not drop back down, those zooanthellae return. If that doesn't happen, then the zooanthellae stay out, the coral actually dies, and that's the bleaching that we hear about at the coral reefs. And it's pretty amazing to see the dead coral. It's a real sad sight to see.
Especially because, again, it's such an important ecosystem for so many species. It's estimated that as of April of this year, 56% of all the corals on the planet have been affected by bleaching. So as of earlier this year, most of the corals affected by this bleaching, which is especially unfortunate when you look at all the different animals that depend on coral. Jeff, who do you want to talk about first?
So, gotta talk about some really cool fish around here. I think the gold trevallies that you see there feeding with Mark, they have the gold tail on them. They have this very interesting striping pattern. And you say, why that striping pattern? That's actually communication between the fish when there's food around.